If you're ready to generate viral motivations video, the kind that get thousands, even millions of views, then you are in the right place. Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad, and today I'm going to walk you through the exact n8n workflow I use to create engaging motivations video completely on autopilot. If we look at these TikTok channels, you'll see that it generates thousands and millions of views, and it's use AI generated voice, and also it has a captions and video scene. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. We're going to generate motivations video with AI generated video and also AI generated voice using 11 Labs. And then we're going to edit the videos to add the captions and make it engagement. Before we get started, let me execute this workflow and show you the end results. Before we execute this workflow, I'm just going to highlight that there's 6 different characters. And every character has its own persona and it also have its own voice. As you see, there is a switch here where it's have different outputs, and basically this switch is every single day it will go to specific characters and it's going to generate this AI motivations video. And we will have a variety of AI motivations video generated every day. So every day we'll have something different to show to the audience. 0 is basically going to execute this today. So let me execute this workflow and then I'm going to explain to you everything and how everything is connected together. So let's do that. The workflow is finished, and then we will have the final videos where we can see the video. And as you see the final videos here, and we can view it. I have to download it first.
Listen up! Too many of you are confusing being busy with being productive. Stop fooling yourself with endless lists and empty tasks. Activity is not achievement. I learned this the hard way, damn it. Crashed in the middle of nowhere, bones broken, no water, dehydration clawing at my sanity. I had to drag myself inch by painful inch to safety. No one was there to pat my back or tell me I could do it. I had to be my own damn hero. You think you need validation? You think you need someone to tell you you're enough? Bullshit. You don't need a cheerleader. You need to look in the mirror and face the truth. Your need for approval is a crutch. Throw it away. Get uncomfortable. Feel the burn. When life knocks you down, you get the hell up. Adversity is your fuel. So light the fire. Burn brighter. Discipline over motivation. That's the path to real growth. Now get out there and prove it.
Motivations. So this persona is a person who push people through their hard times to make them able to achieve what they really want. And there's 6 different persona here. I'll actually walk you through everyone in this video. So let me get started and show you how this works. As you guys see this video, this is a mental toughness coach, someone who pushes people beyond their comfort zone through raw truths, and it's also define everything else inside the prompt to generate this script that you guys saw. Before we go through this workflow, let me take you to the Google Sheet and explain what's everything inside. First, we have 6 different tabs here, and every single tab is for a specific characters. As you see, we have the mental toughness coach for this tab, and perspective shifter, overcomers, and so on, all the characters we have. And basically we have here these variables that's going to be changed between characters. So for the mental coach, we have limitation type, challenge, struggles, weakness. And for example, for the perspective shifter, we have everyday scenario, expected outcome, and perspective twist. So you'll see this change between every single characters because we need to build a story based on the characters. So for the mental coach, we have the limitation type. For example, what kind of limitations like this coach have, or you want to tell to the user the challenge type, what kind of challenge, and so on for the struggle, the weakness, the growth, the speech style, the core message, the character background, and the video descriptions. The prompt that I'm going to show you is taking all these variables and then constructing a full prompt that's going to generate the script that the mental coach AI will speak, right? Every single characters will have the same thing. And we have the video descriptions, and the video descriptions is basically just some descriptions to the prompt as well, because the prompt is going to generate a video prompt that's going to be fit to the AI model to generate the background video. You'll see this video descriptions is different between every characters because every characters you need to show a different video background based on the character style and everything. Okay, so you'll see there's variables here is static between all the characters because every characters will need a video descriptions. And also this title here, you'll see it's also static between all the characters because we use this title to rename the videos to make it, to can be able to organize it inside a Google Drive. So we can add this title as you see here, the one we created early. It's have the files called mental toughness unleashed underscore like timestamp. So we use this title basically to just create the folder name. Okay. So now we jump to the n8n and I'm going to walk you through every step. First here we have a switch node. And the switch node basically just led us to create a video every single day differently. Every single day it will output true. For example, if it's Sunday, it will output 0. If it's a Monday, it will output 1. And if it's Tuesday, it output 2. And based on this number here, like if it's output Sunday, it's going to generate this mental toughness coach video. And if it's Monday, it will generate the perspective shifter and so on for all other characters. And if we go inside this node, there's like a functions expression here. We add a function that's basically going to check if the day is equal to 0. It's mean if it's Sunday, then output true. And if it's Monday, it output true. And so on all other days. Basically, if you look at 00, it represents Sunday as the start of the day. And also Saturday, it represents number 6. So we have an input here for every one of them, but we only have 6 characters and 7 inputs here. So I just duplicated one of the input to go to 1 characters. Number 4 and number 5, which is like the Friday and the Thursday, is going to generate the unexpected success because they both here going to the same one. I'm sorry, this is not the, okay, the number 5 is the Thursday, and this is going to go to the everyday philosophers, but the number 6 and number 4 is going to go to the unexpected success. Okay, this is the first node here is the switch node. It's output true, and then after we're going to add this Google Sheets node, and basically this Google Sheets will be connected to the Google Sheet here, and every one of this Google Sheets node is going to have the sheet tab that's related to the specific characters. So here we are in the mental coach characters. Then we have the sheet tab as mental coach. And basically this document just specify what's kind of Google Sheet name. So we choose a motivational viral video, and the sheet tab is a mental toughness coach. And we need to get a row that has a column productions and value is bland. And the reason of that, because once we generate the video and once we done and we have the final video, we're going to mark this to ready. The automation will mark it to ready. So we don't need to get this video again because we're already done with it. So we need to get the one that is bland. So that's why we need to filter it to look for the production column and get the videos that is bland. So that's why we did it here. We also add the options to only return one matching row. So we don't need to get many rows. We only need to get one row. The first row that is bland, that's what it's going to get. So as you see here, it's got this video, the one that we already done with it. And you see it's the production plan. And it got all these variables that we're going to use for the next node. The next node is the mental toughness coach prompt. And if we look inside here, we choosing the model GPT-4o, and we just adding a prompt. And this prompt is very comprehensive, and it starts with an instructions here, how to create the script that's going to be sent to 11 labs. So as you see, it say create a short, high intensity motivational speech, 60 to 90 seconds. This is not really accurate as AI doesn't really give you an accurate seconds. So you can just add a characters. You can replace this by adding like 500 characters or so. And in the style of mental toughness coach, and it's describe what is a mental toughness coach do, someone who pushes people beyond their comfort zone through raw truths, and the speech should start with fonts, no excuses, and also it added like all these variables inside the sheets to generate the whole script. Okay, so that's the first part of the prompt is the script. And the second one is the title generations. And we just adding also the title, JSON. Okay, I forgot one here. The title generations, it will extract the titles from the Google Sheet. Also the video instructions, it's going to extract the video descriptions from the column that's have video descriptions. And here's some guidance. And basically this guidance is just a little bit different between every characters. The video I show you early, it's have like thunderstorm and spear, just mimicking the style of this speech, right? Okay, so this is the video instructions, and the second one is 11 laps. There is like a very useful strategy here that can make the speech very natural. You just add the break time, and you can specify half a second, 1 second. Also, you can using like dashes or dots here to make a minor pauses. So this is very useful because it's make the speech very natural. And we just giving instructions here to the prompt. So when it's give you the final scripts, it will take these instructions and incorporate it inside the script that's going to be sent to 11 labs to generate the voice. Okay, so here we specify the output format. We need the title and we need it to be formatted lower cases, no special characters. And this is just for adding it to the folder name. So we have a unique folder's name for each one of the videos. Okay, so the second one is a script. And the script is the one that's going to be sent to 11 labs. And as you see this code, or I'll say the tags here, this is where give it instructions here. So it's going to generate something like that. And that's when you send it to 11 lab, 11 lab will be able to understand it and basically add these tags inside the scripts to make sure it pauses and make it very natural. Okay, and here just the script clean, it's mean there's no tags, just raw scripts. And the video scene, this is a prompt that we're going to send it later to a video generations model to generate a video. And the video ID, This is something I will need to show you, and basically it's an ID for the voice. We have 6 different IDs, and every ID is representing the characters. So there is 6 different voices. There's 2 options to get this ID. The first thing is you can go through all these voices inside 11 Labs and find out what voice that you think this will be a good fit for the characters. But the better options is 11 Labs has a voice generation. It lets you add an instructions to generate a voice. So you're gonna get a new voice based on whatever instruction you give it. So I'm taking you here to 11 Labs. If you click on voices, you'll see create or clone a new voice. So you click on add new voice, and under voice design, this is where you're going to add the instructions to give you a voice like that represent these characters. So I just go to ChatGPT and I ask it like what these characters will do, what's going to speak about, and then I ask it to give me a prompt to generate the voice. So it's give me the prompt, and then I paste it here, and then in the text to review just like what you wanted to see as an example. And then you click generate voice. I just leave it this as a default. It said like an old British male with a crispy voice, professional, relaxed.
The night air carried whispers of betrayal, thick as London fog.
Okay, so
The night air
there's 3 different voices. Just
The night-
choose which
the
one
night
you
air
want,
carried whispers of betrayal.
and then you select it and just give it a name. I will just write it test, and then choose the language and give it any descriptions you want. And once you save it, then you can use it in your 11 Labs, or you can then copy the ID that you are going to paste it here. If you go here and then you click on the 3 dots, you can be able to click on copy voice ID, and then you have the ID for this voice. So you can create 6 different voices and copy every one of them, every voice ID of these voices, and then add it to every single prompt. So here in this prompt, you're probably going to be creating a mental coach, and then you're going to paste it inside here in the voice ID. Okay. And for all other characters as well, you're going to create the voice ID and paste it here. Okay, so once we're done with that, we have the sheet ID, and the sheet ID is it's only specific to each one of the characters. So for the mental coach, we added the sheet ID here. So how to get the sheet ID is basically you just go back to the sheet that have all the characters, and you'll see every time you click on this, it's going to change the ID here inside the link. For example, in this link here, you'll see that there's 2 different IDs. This IDs here is for the whole Google Sheet together, and the one that's related to the characters is this one or this one. They are the same. So you're gonna copy this, and then you're gonna paste it there in the prompt. And as you see, I want to show you the difference that this one is end up with 811. If we go to different characters and you click on the Google Sheets link, you'll see it's end up with 787. Okay, so you need to paste it here, and basically the ID one is the ID of the row. So each row it's have its own ID. So we just added like as a variable, so it's going to take this ID and add it here. And as you see, it's added the row here on the right side, ID 003. Okay, so this is everything goes inside the prompt. And basically we're going to do that for every single one of the characters. If you think that there's different characters you would like to add, or you want to replace one of these characters with something else you want, basically just copy this prompt and add a different Google Sheet here tab, and then add these variables, and everything gonna be added here is going to be reflected inside the prompt. I also have a prompt here that's going to generate you, like for every one of the characters, going to generate you new data. So basically you'll have unlimited data here, like every once in a while it'll generate 30 different data input, and then you're just adding this prompt and it's going to generate you all these inputs, and basically you just copy it and paste it here. So this sheet can be updated frequently. In this prompt I have for this characters, it's have the prompt that's going to generate the data. I have an example, so it's going to generate you the raw data that's just going to copy and paste it to the Google Sheet. And as you see, this will be for every single characters. And I think I saw this is duplicated here, so I'm just gonna delete it. If you want to get this prompt and also you want to get all this template, you'll find the link below. Okay, now we finish this step. We're going to add this for all the characters. Every characters will have a very different voice ID, and also have a different prompts for the storytelling. And you'll see the 11 labs is static. It's going to be the same through all the characters. The video scene guidelines is a little bit different, and the output is the same, but we have the IDs different based on the row, and the sheet ID also is different, and the voice ID is different, and the video scene is going to be different as well. Now we have the next step is, it's basically just a functions or a code node that's going to generate us a unique name, a unique folder name. And this name is, it's not really important, but I would like to organize my Google Drive folders. So every folders will have a specific name, and this name will be constructed from the title and the timestamp. So we'll have a final title and timestamp for every single folder. Okay, so after you generate this unique folder name, we need to set some variables for the automations. And basically it's make it easy. You can reference those variables from this node. The variables will be the title that we generated from the OpenAI step, and the script is the one that's also generated from the OpenAI, the video scene as well, and the file API token. And this is the video generation model. And basically how to get this API key is you're gonna go to file.ai, and you're just going to sign up, and you're going to add a key. I think you go to the account and then API key, and then you just add a key here, and then copy it, paste it, and go back and add it here. I'm gonna delete this after, so just create your own. And the asset folder is, I'm just gonna change this, but it's basically in the function node, we added this node to add S3. Just don't worry about that. I have changed, before I was using S3, but I have changed it to Google Drive. So just add this as a folder path, and I'm going to change the unique folder name to add this as a key here. Okay, so after that, we have the voice ID, and this is the one that we also get it, like we hard coded in OpenAI to generate it back to us. So we're just going to add it here. And the sheet ID and the ID is the same thing inside the OpenAI output. In the OpenAI output, we output all these variables, and we're just using it later in the set variables for automations node to make everything is organized and be able to easily reference in the subsequent nodes. After we set everything, now we need to create an asset folder. So the assets folder is basically every single assets, like the video background and the voiceover, and the final video, it's going to be stored inside this asset folder. If you really want to keep your thing organized, so when we're running this every day, is going to generate folders for each one of these assets. We have these folders and it's contain all these assets for today and so on for tomorrow. So if we ever want to like reference this or use it for a different project or anything else, then we can have this organized. So inside this node, we have Google Drive node. So let me show you actually this one is you go to Google Drive and you'll see that there is a create folder. So you're gonna click here and it's going to give you this node and you need to add folder name, and the folder name we have set it before in the variable names here because we generated from the function node and we added to this variable name. So we just basically reference the folder name, and the parent drive will be my drive, and the parent folder, this is a folder you need to create. So you're gonna go to Google Drive and then you're going to, in my drive, you just create a folder. And then after you create the folders, as you see, I created a motivations video folder. You're gonna have to share this folder to public, right? So you're gonna click share and then you just change this to anyone with a link. You do this once because this is going to be the parent folder. So every time we're running these automations, the folders that's going to be created is going to be inside this parent folders. And these parent folders, we give it the permissions to be, anyone can be able to see it. So once we do that, every single folder inside these folders will also be accessible. Okay, after you do that, then we need to generate the voiceover. We add this HTTP node and we need to add a post message because we are going to send to 11 labs and we're going to generate the audio, the voice over based on like the script. So first we add this link here, which is the API text to speech. And then we adding the specific variables node, the one that we set first right here, that we add all the variables that we're going to use inside this workflow. We have the voice ID. That's what we need because every single characters have a different voice ID. We just referring the voice ID for that characters. And we just add like with timestamps, question mark output, underscore formats, and basically just copy this one. And this just telling it that we need the timestamp because the timestamp going to be used to make the voice sync with the captions. So that's why we need it. After that, we will set a headers and then we are going to add the API key and just have to add like xi.api.key and add the voiceover and add the API keys in the value. For the send body, you just click on send body and then you define the body context type is JSON, specify the body. So you just using field below. And for the body parameters, you add a text and then you add the actual script, not the clean script, but the one that has these tags. So we are going to send this to 11 labs and tell it this is a text. We need the voice. Okay, so that's all. We also have to add the name model underscore ID, and this is basically just there's different models inside 11 labs for generating the audio, and this one I think is the best. So you just add 11 underscore multilingual underscore v2. Okay, so once we finish with this node and you click tests, it's going to show you, it's going to send you back the audio in audio base 64 and in audio underscore base 64. So this is the audio base 64 and this is characters. And basically this is just the every single letters, it's have a number. and we are going to use this to actually give a sentence, because we can't use this letters. So we're going to give a sentence for the whole script. Okay. So after that, this function node here is going to group all the small letters into a sentence with a start and end up time. Every single sentence will have a start time and it also have end time. So all the script. Okay, so after that, we want to have to set up a chunk variables. And basically this chunk variables is just another variables to set up for like the new subsequent nodes. So the captions, and this is the captions that we got from the function node, and the folder name, the same thing from the variables automations node, the set variables for the automation node, the sheet ID and the ID. So nothing really new, it's just adding this variable again. So in this nodes here, we have converted the voiceovers to sentence. We need to generate the voice scene. We have generated a prompt that's going to generate us the voice, the video scene. So we added an HTTP request, and this request is to the file.ai, and this is the one we just set up the API keys. We're going to add the post request, and we add this URL. This URL basically for text to a video model, because we're going to give it a text and we need to receive a video. And we also sending headers. Also the authorizations is this for the API key that we have set up early. And we just referencing from the node we have before, the set node that has all the variables. And for the name, add a content dash type value application slash JSON. And this one, it's like preferred weight. I don't think you need it really. You can leave it or delete it. And here is the most important part, is the JSON format that's going to have the text prompt. And you just add this here, and then for the prompt, you're gonna reference the prompt from the setup variable for automations, the one that has all the variables. And for the durations, we have 10 seconds. And for the aspect ratio, we have 9:16. This is verticals, so you can add it to TikTok or YouTube Shorts. After this, we make the request. It will tell you that the status is queued. It's going to give you a request ID, and this ID is what you're going to use to query if the status is done or not. Because if it's the status is done, it's going to tell you it's completed, and then we can move over to the next steps. Okay, so we need to wait. I added a wait node because this video generations model take a few minutes. We added 1 minute for waiting, so it's going to wait 1 minute before going to get the generated video link. So to be able to get the URL, so the message will be get. Inside the URL, you will have the same URL and make request to video model, and this is basically the request ID that we got from this node here. So that request ID, you're just going to drag it and put it here. And for send headers, you will add the authorization, and then you're gonna add the key, the same as we did in the make request to video model. And there is a very important things here, because if you leave it like that, you will get an error. And the reason of that, because this models or this website file.ai, when it's still processing the video, it doesn't output item, but it's output error. Let me show you here how it's going to look here. Okay, so it's going to output errors like that. 400 details request is still in process, and this is not really an error. It's just telling you that the video generation is still in process. But if you leave it like that, it output an error, so it's going to stop the whole workflow. To be able to bypass this or make it as an item output, not as an error, Then you're gonna go to the setting, and then on error here, you're gonna click continue. This will let you pass this error message as an item in regular output, and you're going to be able to continue without any error. Okay, so after that, then we need to check if we generated an actual video link or not. So to do that, we just add a if step, and inside the if step, you'll see if JSON underscore error doesn't exist. So because if it's error, then it's exists, it's mean that it's still in processing. So if it's still in processing, it's mean that we need to wait again and get the link and try to see if it's done or if it's not. If it's not, we're gonna keep looping till it's completely done. Okay, so when we say that the conditions that the error is not exist, it's mean that we don't have any more errors, or meaning we don't have still on processing, then we need to continue. And doesn't exist is basically telling it that it's have a null value. There's nothing existing there. So that meaning like it's output true. And if it's output true, then we know that there is an URL, and there is no more errors, or there's no more still in processing. It's mean it's done. Then we're gonna go to the next node, which is download the video. That because we're gonna have the output from the get URL. The previous node is going to output the video URL. So we're gonna take this video URL, and then we're going to download the video. So we add HTTP node method get, and you just add the URL, and the response format is file, and the boot output field is data. And once you add this, it will give you the video right here. So this is a video that generated by the AI model. Okay, so now we have the video captions, and we have the actual video, and now we need to download the voiceover that we generated here to the Google Drive. I added an SS3 bucket because I had this before as an SS3 bucket, but I changed it to Google Drive for simplicity. So I'm just gonna add the Google Drive. Okay, to be able to download the video, you need to convert it to binary data, because we have here the base 64 generated from 11 labs. We have the base 64, so we need to convert this base 64 to binary data. And once we have this binary data, you'll be able to upload it to a Google Drive. Okay, so this function node is basically just converting this binary data to an actual video, so an actual file here, .mp3. Okay, so once we have this file converted, now we can upload it to the Google Drive folders that we created early. So basically we just add a voiceover dash, and that's a statics just to understand that it's voiceover. And then we add this set of variables for automations, title, that's going to take the title from the node we created early, and there's going to add it here. So we have voiceover dash title, and then inside the parent folder drive, you're going to add my drive. It's already selected. And so for the parent folder, you need to select by ID. And then the ID, it's basically the IDs that also inside. And in the parent folder, you will select by ID. And basically here you're going to add the create select folders node. This is when we created a folder. It gives us an ID for this folder. So we're just going to add this here. Okay, so this folder is where we're going to store the actual file. Once we do that, it's going to upload the voiceover inside this folder Google Drive. You need to add also a setup variables to the voiceover URL. This is the audio underscore URL. This is like the voiceovers that we just uploaded. Now we need to add it to a variable here. So we're gonna get the link. You're just gonna drag with content link and put it here. So now we have the links for the voiceover. And there's another sections here to choose a random music. This is the part that you're going to go through, and then I added a tab here called music. You just have two fields, the music and the URL. So basically you can just get musics here, and then you can drag it, like add like maybe 5 or 10, whatever you want. And this is just one time thing. And once you have this URLs, then inside the n8n we basically get this rows. So it's going to give us like all this URLs. And now in the sick node here, we choose a random music. Every time it run, it will return a random URL from this URLs, all right? So every single day you have a different music for these videos. There might be a different or a better way that you can add like 6 different music, and everyone has its own style. So you can map them out with actual voice over or actual characters. So motivational speech, you can have a different style of music, and so on for all other characters. They can, every time this character is run, then it's going to generate a random music based on this column that's related to the mental coach, for example. But for now, I just add one Google Sheet, and then you can add as many music as you want, and it's going to generate a random music. Just pick one and then choose it for the music. And then we're going to set up the variables that's going to add music URL, and then we choose a URL from the previous function node. Once we're done with that, now we have everything to be able to edit the video. So we have the video captions. We also have the video scene generated by the AI. We have also the voiceover, and we have the music. And that's all what we need to be able to edit the video and make the final video. I added a merge node here. So the merge node is going to take all this variables from the previous nodes and is going to output one JSON here: captions, folder name, sheet ID, video URL, the audio URL, and the music URL. So it's going to output this, and basically I choose combine by position, and the number of output is 4, and that's it. And once you connect everything to this input, it will generate this JSON's input here. And you can take this and can set up variables for editing. These was a lot of variables I set up, and it might be necessary or not, but I like to keep things organized, and I like to see everything across this big workflow. As you see, it's a very large workflow. So I like to keep adding variables, nodes, to be able to just see what everything is. I added this one, and basically is going to take the background videos from the merge node. It's going to take the background music, the captions, the video voiceover, the folder name, and the video title. And this one, I just got it from the first node that we have that's set the video title variables. And here we have also the sheet ID and the ID. Once we have this, we now can add this node. Basically, this is node that's going to edit the video. So this automator API, so we just adding this URL for video generations, and under header, you're gonna add authorizations, and then you're gonna add barriers, and then the API keys, And to generate the API keys, you're going to go to automaterapi.com and you're going to sign up. Just go to the dashboard and you are going to click new key, and then you're going to copy this key and add it here. And by the way, this is my platform, and it's a video editing platform that I created to be able to create videos. A lot of things coming up. If you're really interested, it's free for school members. So if you join my community, you'll be able to access to 200 credits to generate videos for different types. There's upcoming videos to show you how to generate other videos. So if you're interested to join the school community, you'll automatically going to get 200 credit for free. And now we need to add this input for the video editing. So we have the background music URL, which you're going to get it from here, from the previous nodes, background music. And for the voice over URL, it's also here, and the background video, and that will be here, and the captions also is here. For the captions, you need to add json.stringify. So that's going to be the output, and we're going to send it. And once you send it, you're going to get status is queued, and then we have to add a wait node to allow us to wait to see if it's done or is still processing. So we add this wait node, and basically we wait for 30 seconds. And then after you wait for 30 seconds, you will add another HTTP request. And basically this request will make it so we can get the video. So we're going to add the same URL /status/ the job ID. And the job ID, you can get it from here. And then you just add the same API key, and then you will receive an output. And based on this output, it's either still processing or is completed. So if it's still processing, we adding an if node here to check. We're checking for the URL output underscore URL, and to see if this URL is empty or not. Because if it's empty, if we're receiving empty URL here, it's mean that we still don't have the video. If we don't have the video, then we need to loop and wait again and check the video again to see if we have it till we finally have the videos. And once we have the video, now we need to download the video, and then we need to add it to Google Drive. The same as the previous sections where we download videos, you add this HTTP GET request, and then you add the URL for the video. Then you are going to, the response file format is file, and then the put out data in the field is data. Now you're going to have the video, the final video.
Listen up. Too many of you are confusing being busy with being productive. Stop fooling.
Okay, so after that, you need to upload this video to your own Google Drive folder, the folder that we created that's going to have all these assets. Okay, so you add the same thing, the same Google Drive, like Google Drive uploads file, and then the file name you add final_video, and basically you just add the same folder name here. So this will be final-video / the folder name .mp4. Okay, and in the parent file drive is my drive, and the parent folder, it's the ID, also the ID that we got from the create assets folder before. Okay, once we have all this, we can just update the stage inside the Google Sheet that we already finished that workflow, and then it's basically just going to update this production to ready. To do that, we have added like all the 6 different updates Google Sheet, and everyone will have basically a different sheet name. We have 6 of them. So we have added 6 different sheets, and the ID will match the ID that we got from the SID variables for editing. And as for the asset folders, we have added this static name, the URL here, and slash is the ID of the folder. So this we're going to be added to Google Sheet. And the final video, we also have this URL, and that's basically have the finals videos URL. That's all you'll see here. Everything has been added from our previous videos generation. It added the folder and the final video. So that's all for this workflow. Let me actually generate the different characters to show you also how this is going to look like. So basically, we just need to switch this for now to any different characters because this is a day we said before. So we can choose the everyday philosophers and we can test this workflow. All right, so there was some error. Just want to keep you updated that instead of connecting to the OpenAI, I have to connect it to Google Sheets here. So let me actually do that and I will run this workflow again. Okay, so now it's finished generating the final video. So if you go to the Google Sheet, you'll see that links has been successfully updated and the production stage has changed to ready. And you can also check the motivations video folder. You'll see that new folder has been created. And under this folder, you'll see this assets, the voiceover, and the video that generated by AI, and also the final video. So if you click on the final video, you can see.
I was sitting in a coffee shop the other day, just watching people. And everyone was staring at their phones, like every single person. It got me thinking, isn't it strange how we can be physically present but mentally somewhere else entirely? It's like we're all here, but not really here, And it made me realize we all have this deep hunger for real connection, even though we're constantly in contact. I mean, isn't that just the most human thing? To crave connection? I know this sounds silly, but maybe the real courage today is in choosing to be fully present, to put down the phone and just be with each other. It's not easy, but it's simple. And maybe that's where the magic happens. So yeah, just a thought. Thanks for listening.
Alrighty, as you see, guys, it's I think it's pretty good, the speech. And as you see that the video is keep loading. So this is just to save you a lot of money because AI generation videos can be really expensive. So instead of we generating multiple videos, we're only generating one videos and we keep looping it. And I think it seems fine. It's look fine for me. Okay, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you're interested to pick up this template, please go to the video description. You'll find the link. And if you join the school community, you will get a free 200 credits in Automator API, a platform where you can generate this type of videos and also different type of videos that I'm going to post a video soon about. And we also creating multiple different services that's going to be used inside this platform. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you next time.